So wait, Roman Reigns, healthy, didn't make an appearance. Lesnar is no longer the Universal Champion. And SummerSlam was better than NXT TakeOver? What the? What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan Unfiltered. This is Unfiltered Wrestling, and we're talking SummerSlam. It was a pretty goddamn good show. Man, I think it was the best SummerSlam in a few years. It didn't have many dull moments, and we'll get to the ones it did have in a minute. It had a couple, but it didn't have many. Not compared to usual. The last few years of SummerSlam have been kind of shit. This one it flowed pretty damn well. And I'm going to start off by talking about the main event, of course. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. And yeah, holy shit. Seth Rollins pulled it off. I did not expect that. Even Las Vegas and the bookers, they had Rollins as a heavy underdog entering the night. And usually they're pretty spot on. They usually, know the behind the scenes workings. They usually basically just know who's going to win. They were wrong. Rollins won. I don't know if that was a switcheroo at the last minute by Vince or what. But I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. And the reason I'm okay with it is because Rollins won clean. Fair and square. No buffoonery. No trickery. No bullshit that still makes Lesnar look way better than Rollins. So I'm tired of that. I'm tired of Brock Lesnar. When he does lose, it's cheap. And he still looks better than everyone. If you're going to let Lesnar look better than everybody, let him keep the title then. And if you want to take the title off him, let him actually lose to somebody. And that finally happened. First time in about 7 years. Wrap your mind around that. That Brock Lesnar has lost clean. Since he came back in 2012, he lost clean to John Cena. Was his first opponent. He lost clean in a bloodbath. Very good match. He lost clean to Triple H at WrestleMania 29, but that took a pedigree on steel steps. So even that, clean, still, holy shit, did that protect Brock. And then all of his other losses, which there's only been a couple, have been convoluted kind of horse shit. Like, he still was clearly better than his opponent. Undertaker at SummerSlam a few years ago. Undertaker low-blowed him. Clearly, Lesnar was going to win that. And Undertaker tapped out before the match actually ended. So, technically, if the ref would have seen it, Lesnar would have won anyway. So, yeah, just a whole bunch of shit. And then last year, I think last year's SummerSlam, I believe, Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar. But Braun Strowman interfered and distracted him and caused a whole bunch of shit. So that was another asterisk to a loss. This time, and Mania, this year's Mania, Rollins, of course, beat him for the Universal title. But again, a low blow did it. So it was a complete waste of my time. And it really derailed Seth Rollins' momentum as champion, a babyface champion, and calling himself the Beast Slayer. You low-blowed the guy. Come on, that's cheap. This time, they fixed it. They should have just done what happened tonight. Should have just happened at WrestleMania. You kind of wasted 6 months. You wasted a Money in the Bank. Lesnar never needed to even win that Money in the Bank if you would have just done what happened tonight at SummerSlam. If you would have just done that at WrestleMania. Rollins win clean in a pretty good / brutal match. Call it a day. Then someone like a Drew McIntyre, Samoa Joe, someone like that can win the damn briefcase. But hey, doesn't matter. They fixed it now. Rollins, if he's who they think is the guy, the babyface of the company now, so be it. That's fine with me. Yeah, I'm just glad it was clean. There's no bullshit, and it doesn't hurt Lesnar. For people who love Lesnar, and I actually like Lesnar a lot, it doesn't make him look weak. He's lost one time, like I said, clean in 7 years. I think he'll be fine. And hopefully he can move on. Like, I don't want to see a rematch necessarily. They might do a rematch at Hell in a Cell or something. I really don't need to see that. I'm okay with Lesnar going back to being a full-fledged part-timer and only doing big marquee matches. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has no momentum. But Kevin Owens would be cool. Do that at Rumble. Something like that. Just throwing that out there. Something like that. I'd be okay with that. Drew McIntyre. You know, just something. Just not champion. No, we need a little break from that. But yeah, good match overall. I liked it. The only real gripe I have about the main event was Seth Rollins really didn't sell his injuries at all. And he got the holy dog shit beat out of him the last couple of Raws. And they really made that, like, that was a whole build. Like, they didn't have a whole lot of build to this except that Lesnar beat the holy shit out of him. F5'd him on, like, stretchers. He F5'd him on the floor, in the ring. It was just completely beat the hell out of him. And he came out with his ribs taped up, but he didn't sell it. He didn't sell it. Like, it wasn't good. He popped right up after a German suplex, and he did a spot. There's a really nice announce table spot where he gets Lesnar on the Spanish announce table, and he, you know, like a Shane McMahon spot, climbs to the turnbuckle and jumps. And he does like a frog splash from turnbuckle to announce table. Looked nice. Great idea. But he kind of like got right up, which, no. You shouldn't be getting right up. You're supposed to be the wounded animal in this fight. But no, he sprung right up, threw Lesnar in, curb stomp, kick out by Lesnar, F5, kick out by Seth, stomp, Lesnar loses. Good match, but I wish he would have sold his injuries a little more. It would have helped. Seth kind of has that problem. He's not a great injury seller. But besides that, really good. And it was a great ending to the show. It really, the crowd damn sure loved it. All right, now let's get back into the actual card. Fuck. The pre-show was not great. It was not great at all. It could have just not happened. Anything on the pre-show. They really didn't need any of this. The Cruiserweight Championship match, Oney Lorcan versus Drew Gulak, standard as hell. They should just put that on 205 Live. For the normal Cruiserweight standards, this was nothing. It was a waste of time. Of course, Gulak retains, which was the right decision, but still, this was not a special match by any means. No need. And the crowd just didn't give a fuck. Like, that's the saddest part. Is 205 Live still, it's been, what, a year, maybe two? The crowd just isn't connecting. I don't know how much longer they can keep this up before just moving it to Full Sail University with NXT and just maybe trying that, because this just isn't working. And then Apollo Crews faced Buddy Murphy. Why? I have no idea. Like, what the hell? Where the hell did they pull that out of? That's random as hell. But didn't even have a finish. It wasn't even a match. It was 100% just to do the Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan story. That's all. Progressing that. Rowan came out, interfered, attacked Buddy Murphy, got the DQ finish. Just because last week, you know, of course, Buddy Murphy mentioned Rowan was the guy who screwed over Roman Reigns. That's it. I'm surprised they didn't have a Roman appearance. Like, he could have come out, but since it's the pre-show, you're not going to see Roman on a pre-show. So yeah, you could have done this on waited for Raw or SmackDown and just done it then after SummerSlam. Didn't need it. Women's Tag Team title match. Good God. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Iconics. Terrible. The match sucked. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are a horrible team together. Like, and they don't make sense. Their gimmicks don't match up. Their looks don't really add up. Their storyline they've built last few months with them doesn't make sense. Are they heels? Are they faces? I think they're faces. I can't tell. It's a terrible storyline. God, they need to drop these titles and break up immediately. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really killing the whole women's tag thing. It's atrocious. Yeah, again, like I said, the whole pre-show didn't need to happen. Waste of time. Like, you could have put on, if you're going to put on random matches, put on Bobby Roode versus Chad Gable. Something like that. People want to see. No one wants to see that shit. That shit was, that was terrible. And then we had the first match of the actual main show, the pay-per-view. Becky Lynch, the man, versus Natalya. Good match. And a submission match, by the way. A very good match. It was good. They actually had good chemistry, especially for the submission style. Obviously, both of their finishers are submission moves. But yeah, it was a better match than I expected, and they were kind of smart to kick off the show with it because the crowd was lively and ready, and Becky Lynch's momentum has kind of been dying the last few months. Kicking off a pay-per-view in a pretty damn good match is going to help build her back up. So yeah, great job. Becky Lynch, of course, retains. We all knew that. Disarm her, tap out. It was good though. Good match. My one complaint is Natalya's the heel in this, I believe, is what they've been booking her as a heel last couple weeks. But then they're in her home country of Canada, and she comes out wearing the Canadian flag, which is only going to get cheers. And then in the match, when she gets cheers, she tells the crowd to shut up. What the hell? Who the hell booked that? The second match was Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler, which, if you had high expectations for this, you probably shouldn't have. But it was like we all knew it was going to happen. 5 minutes or less. Goldberg, spear, jackhammer. Finish. And that's basically exactly what happened. But I really, I kind of had fun with this. Don't hate me for that. I kind of enjoyed this. Definitely more than I thought I would. I thought this was going to be a complete waste of time. But instead, it was kind of fun. Goldberg, like they booked it well. They started it, normally like when Goldberg beat Brock, as soon as the bell rang, he spears the shit out of Brock and catches him off guard, and he beat him in 2 minutes at Survivor Series a few years ago. That's kind of what Dolph did. As soon as the bell rang, he did his Sweet Chin Music. I think they're just stealing the name. But he did the Sweet Chin Music right to Goldberg's jaw. Pinned him. Kick out. I think at 1, too. But then got up. He did it again. That was actually pretty cool. It made it look like Dolph had a plan and that Dolph might actually have a chance in hell. Even though, let's be honest, we all knew he didn't. But still, it was booked. They made it look like maybe. Good job by them. But then right after that, of course, spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. And Dolph, of course, he's a great seller. He sold the shit out of those spears. He really did. Almost too much. Really, almost too much. He backflipped and got speared, fell down, got up, spun, fell again. It was weird. It was a little too much, but hey, I'm fine with it. It was just a little bit of fun. I was sports entertained. The weird part came when Goldberg was leaving. Ziggler grabbed a fucking mic and goaded him into coming back. And he got speared yet again. Then Goldberg fully leaves, goes up the ramp and leaves. And Dolph does it again. He calls him out again. It was like a scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you've ever seen that movie. A knight gets his arm chopped off and says it's just a flesh wound. He loses all of his arms. Just a flesh wound. That's kind of what Dolph was doing. He was basically just like, oh no, this is fine. Now just come back and face me like a man again. And he got Goldberg's music hit. He came back out. He had to actually hold Dolph up. Good selling by Dolph. Then Goldberg bounced off the ropes, which I've never seen him do this for a spear. Bounced off the rope, bounced off the other rope, Roman Reigns style, and spear the shit out of Ziggler one final time. Crowd loved it. I thought it was fun. Did it mean anything? No, of course not. And if you're a Dolph Ziggler fan, then you hate this segment because it did make Ziggler look like butt cheeks. He did not look great here. He really didn't. He kind of looked like an idiot. Especially just goading Goldberg to come back. That was stupid. But hey, it was fun. Good enough for me. And it didn't take too much of my time. Next match was for the United States Championship. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. And good lord, if you like independent wrestling at all, that's a dream match. That's one you've wished for years. Like really. Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Holy shit. And it was a good match. I won't say very good. It was a good match. I liked it. I wish they would have... See, that of all the matches on the card, this one probably needed about 3-4 more minutes. It was still good, though. But 3-4 more minutes, I think it really could have got going. Still good. It had probably the two best spots of the night, I think. There was one where AJ, Gallows, and the OC were on the outside, and Ricochet was on the ring apron, and he kind of walks. He uses Luke Anderson and Carl Gallows Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. My bad, I've got them mixed up. And he walked on their shoulders, boop boop, and then jumps and does a Hurricane Rana to AJ Styles on the outside. It was actually beautiful. That was beautifully choreographed. Really liked that. And then the finish was just outstanding. AJ was laying in the ring. Ricochet goes up top. It looked like he was going for a Phoenix Splash type of move, which is like a corkscrew senton in the air. AJ gets up, catches Ricochet by the legs, and immediately Styles clashes him from it. Oh man, it was brutal. It was fantastic. I wonder how many times they had to practice that to get that ready for SummerSlam. To make sure, because that's so easy to botch. So easy. But nope, these two nailed it. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. AJ wins. Ricochet still looks good. No issues whatsoever. Next was Bayley versus Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's title. This was easily the worst thing on the card, not including the pre-show. The whole pre-show sucked. They could have just canned everything I had on the pre-show and just put Bayley Ember Moon on the pre-show. Because this was a waste of time. It was not a great match. It went 10 minutes. For it being as kind of dull and unimportant as it was, they could have just made it 5-6 minutes and give the 4 minutes to Ricochet and AJ. And it's not these two women's fault. Ember and Bayley both can wrestle, and that actually, on paper, looks like it could be a good match. But they have buried Ember the last month. She looks like shit. No one was excited for this. The commentary was terrible during this match. They were not interested at all. And then the match just ends. It was hard to even pay attention to the match itself. It just wasn't good. The crowd didn't care. I didn't care. You guys probably didn't care. Commentary damn sure didn't care. Bayley wins with a Bayley to belly off the turnbuckle. I think the second rope. Who cares? It wasn't good. They probably should just let Ember pull an upset on that one just to shake it up. Bayley's been a bad champion so far, and Ember is death. She's dying. She needed a big win. Instead, it was a bad match where no one cared, and Bayley retains. Not good. Next, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. And stipulation was if Owens loses, he has to quit, which we all know. Even if he did lose this match, he wasn't actually going to quit. It just would have been a different storyline. But no. Kevin Owens won. I'm actually kind of stunned. I really am. Because I thought they were building a certain storyline here. Nope. Shane lost. And not only did he lose, it wasn't close. He got his ass kicked. Which is also shocking. Because since Shane has come back, I think 2.5, 3 years ago, He faced AJ Styles, just to name a couple, AJ Styles, Undertaker. Just name two. And both of those matches, he almost looked like they're equal, which is absurd. Like, they never should have done that. That was stupid. So I'm very surprised where it was Kevin Owens who gets to beat the holy dog shit out of him. They did not look equal. Kevin Owens beat the shit out of him. I liked it. I'm okay with it. And Elias was named a special enforcer, which I don't like the Elias-Shane pairing. It's not a good one. The gimmicks don't really fit. I don't like it. But doesn't matter. Elias was the special enforcer. And the highlight, like the big moment of the match, he tosses in a chair to Kevin Owens, and Shane basically begs Kevin to hit him with a chair. Because, obviously, if he does that, Owens gets DQ'd, Owens loses, Owens supposedly has to say he quits. So that was the big climax of the match. He didn't do it, obviously, but was even smarter. He didn't do it. Gave the chair to the ref turns around, and then he kicks Shane right in the McMahons. That was great. That was smart. Good storytelling. Good storytelling. That was nice. And I know some people call me a hypocrite because I hate Seth Rollins beat Lesnar at Mania for the low blow, but that's different. Kevin Owens isn't going to go around calling himself the Shane Slayer for months. You know what I mean? And Lesnar was didn't ever do anything truly like heelish to Rollins, who deserved to get kicked in the nuts. Shane, all he's done is try to fuck over Kevin Owens. And adding Elias as a special enforcer just makes you want to see Shane get his ass kicked by any means necessary, including low blows. That happened, and then he stunned the hell out of him. 1, 2, 3, Owens wins. Crowd woke up. It was great. It was great. Kevin Owens is full of momentum. I hope they have a plan for him. We won't know till SmackDown, but damn, I hope there's a plan. And I hope it's not Shane again. And I hope it's not Elias or Drew McIntyre or any of Shane's buddies. Give him something to do. I wouldn't even mind Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens right now. Sorry, Kofi. I wouldn't mind that. But then we got Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus, which, whether you like Charlotte or not, this is kind of a dream match. It really is. It really is. And the most surprising thing about this match was how long it went. It went 16 and a half minutes. It was 5 seconds away from being the longest match on the card. Trish Stratus, who hasn't had a singles match in, 7, 8 years? A long time. A long time. But this was surprisingly good. Even for going 16 and a half minutes, I would have preferred them take about 4 or 5 minutes off of it. I think 11, 10 minutes would have been perfectly fine. It kind of drug on a little while. How many bulldogs can we watch Trish do? But hey, nonetheless, it was very entertaining. The crowd absolutely ate it up. I enjoyed it. Charlotte proved, again, if you dislike her or like her, whatever, she proved why she's consistently one of the best female workers in the world. Like, she rarely has bad or boring matches. She carried Trish here. Trish held her own, but she was clearly rusty, but not her fault. She can't be blamed for that. Charlotte did a fantastic job of helping her through moments and spots and moves. Very good match. I'm actually surprised they had Trish tap out, though. I'm okay with it, because I don't think enough babyfaces tap anymore. That's like a thing that doesn't happen. Everyone shouldn't be protected. And it really makes Charlotte look pretty goddamn good to make a legend like Trish Stratus tap out. Good job. Kofi Kingston. Versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Can I take back what I said about Bayley and Ember Moon being the worst thing on the card? I think I can, and I think I will, because this was awful. Kofi Kingston and Randy had an okay match. Very slow, which not a lot you can do about that. Randy Orton just wrestles a slow style. Sort of like Triple H. Which can be okay, but damn. Kofi needs some type of exciting feud or match in his title reign. It's been pants. It's been butt cheeks so far. It has not been great. And this match, once it started picking up, like Kofi went up top, He jumped, which looked like for a double axe handle, which as soon as you see someone doing that against Randy Orton, you know an RKO's coming. And it did. RKO out of nowhere. And he pins him. Oh, no, actually, he didn't pin him, which was kind of weird. But I was okay with it because it was protecting Kofi. Or Randy's finisher and Kofi from, like, a loss. Kofi wasn't going to lose here. But, damn, the finish was awful. After that RKO, he rolls out of the ring. Randy Orton follows him. And Randy Orton just, like, says a couple words in the direction of Kofi's, like, family who's at ringside. And Kofi snaps, I guess. Even though it really wasn't much. It really wasn't much. Gave Orton a couple punches. And then you just hear a bell. The ref calls for the bell. I was thinking DQ. Like, what the fuck? Why the hell did he just get DQ'd? Apparently they said it was a count out. Which, they weren't out there very long. And it doesn't make sense because in the main event with Rollins and Lesnar, during that table spot I mentioned, they were out way longer than Orton and Kofi were, and they didn't get counted out. Both are title matches. What's the difference? Referee's discretion, I guess? Yeah, give me a fucking break. Yeah, terrible ending, terrible finish. The match, fuck, yeah, not good. Hated it. The crowd hated it. They chanted bullshit. Good job, Canada. You guys are great. The weird thing is, I knew eventually if Kofi kept winning like this, the crowd would probably turn on him. I didn't expect it to be like this, though. They were chanting, Kofi's stupid, Randy sucks. Kofi's stupid, Randy sucks. Kofi's stupid? Damn, man. And it was loud, too. It was loud. Like, even when he got in some offense at points in the matches, he got booed sometimes. Yeah, they're going to have to do something with Kofi. Either he needs to drop the title, or they need to do a switcheroo. He's got to turn up the volume, get in a big feud. I guess Randy Orton is his big feud. But you don't do that at SummerSlam when the champion clearly needs it. The WWE title doesn't look great right now around Kofi Kingston's waist. This match could have helped it. Like, if you want Kofi to retain, he should just fucking won. Period. Like, that's just it. It was a terrible finish. Yeah. I can talk about how bad that was for a while. I'm not going to do that. It was really bad. But next, we went from what was the worst thing on the card to probably what was the best. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, debuts versus Finn Balor. Wow. The Fiend looked good. The production here was fantastic. It really was. The lighting on his entrance, the music on his entrance, the presentation, the damn lantern was Bray Wyatt's, like, head? Like the former Bray Wyatt character? It was his head with his mouth open? Crazy. Like, they really put a lot of thought in this. And by they, I mostly mean Bray Wyatt himself. I'm pretty sure he's thinking of most of this that's happening with this character. And it's so far been fantastic. Fantastic. They made him look like a star, feel like a star, and then in the match, he wrestled mostly like Bray Wyatt, but he's jacked. He's in way better shape. He moved better. Some of his moves were a little more brutal, especially like clotheslines and stuff. He still did the crab thing in the corner that Bray Wyatt's known for. That's fine, because it's still the same guy. So people who bitch that's still just Bray Wyatt, well, yeah, the character is still Bray Wyatt. They're not saying he's not. He's not Husky Harris. He's still Bray Wyatt. And then he beat Finn Balor pretty easily. He beat the shit out of him. Finn got a very small flurry of offense at the end. Didn't matter. Mandible Claw, which I believe is his new finisher, at least as The Fiend. But it wasn't... normally when Mick Foley did the Mandible Claw, it was like a submission move. This, it was a pinfall. They counted 1, 2, 3 while he was down. I'm okay with that. That's good, because they don't like a lot of baby faces tapping out. Pinfalls they're fine with. Bray Wyatt can scoop up more wins this way. I'm okay with that. Great job. And they say Finn Balor, the rumor is Finn Balor wants to take some time off. I'm hoping he takes that time off after, I think Clash of Champions is next, I believe. I hope he takes time off after that pay-per-view. I would like to see the Demon versus Fiend first. Like, at the next pay-per-view, Demon versus Fiend. Fiend obviously has to win, and that would be the Demon's first main roster loss. That would be big for Bray Wyatt. That'd be big for the character. And then the Demon, Finn, all that, can take time off, however many months he needs. And when he comes back, of course, join AJ Styles and the club as Finn Balor. Oh, man, that'd be great. I hope that's the direction they go in. Probably not, but that would be great if it is. And then, of course, the main event, talked about it earlier. Rollins defeats Brock Lesnar clean, which was very surprising. Overall, a very good show. I haven't said that about a SummerSlam in a while. This was very good. Better than TakeOver. Better than TakeOver. Now, it's not better than, don't get me wrong, it's not better than most TakeOvers. Just this TakeOver wasn't great. This TakeOver was pretty good. And this SummerSlam was pretty damn good, I'll say. It was definitely better. Like, I'll actually give this SummerSlam a B+. It was pretty damn good. The only thing that could really, what I would have liked to make it a little better, was a little more big names. Like Roman, I'm shocked he didn't have a match. That would have been nice. They could have dusted off John Cena. That would have been cool. Some more big feuds would have been nice on the card. Kofi Randy really fucking hurt this thing. That was so bad. So bad. Ugh. And that's your WWE champion. It's not like a throwaway match like Ember and Bayley. It's like, who really cares? Kofi Kingston's the WWE champion. He's against Randy Orton. That's big. Or supposed to be big. And they shit all over the ending of that match. The crowd shit on the match as a whole by kind of not wanting either one of them to win. Yeah, it was weird. But overall, very good show. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I was thoroughly sports entertained. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of it. Let me know what you think could be coming up next, because I'm actually not sure with some of these feuds of what they could really do. It's they're kind of in a weird shake-up spot, which is good since, Bischoff is now running SmackDown. Heyman's now running Raw. We got new faces in control. So I think they just wanted a clean slate. It looks like they're getting it. I'm okay with that. And everybody, please subscribe, please like. And if you're watching this, you're clearly a wrestling fan, especially if you're still here at this point in the video, you're definitely a wrestling fan. And please tell friends, anyone else you know that likes wrestling, likes wrestling podcasts, stuff like that, to subscribe to the channel. Let's join in, let's have some fun. And I'll catch you probably Wednesday, something like that, maybe Thursday, with This Week in Wrestling. We'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Appreciate everybody.